The Thrilla in Manila. How many songs do you know with this lyric?
When it comes to sex, I'm similar to the Thrilla in Manila.
She know I beat it up like the Thrilla in Manila.
Honestly, I can't blame them. It's a rhyme that sounds so good and a rhyme that Ali himself came up with.
And I wrote a short poem. It says there will be a killer and a thriller and a killer when I get the gorilla in Manila.
It turned out to be one of the most brutal fights ever. Ali even said, "We went to Manila as champions, Joe and me, and we came back as old men." But have you ever wondered why the fight was in the Philippines? The first two fights were in Madison Square Garden. So why was the third one in a third world country? And not just any third world country, a third world country that was incredibly hot. So hot, in fact, that the fighters couldn't breathe and their gloves were soaked in sweat. This is the story of a dictator, two of the greatest boxers of all time, and this is the dark truth behind the Thrilla in Manila.
Let's get ready to rumble.
October 1, 1975. After 14 grueling rounds, Fraizer's trainer stops the fight, and Ali is crowned as the winner of their third and final bout. But to find out why this iconic fight happened in Manila, of all places, we have to go back 3 years, to the 21st night of September. No, not that one, this one. The day Proclamation 1081 was formalized. Though announced to the public 2 days later, on the 23rd of September, this marked the start of 14 years of authoritarian rule. 14 years of human rights violations, increasing national debt, unemployment, and low income for Filipinos. In fact, a year's worth of income for 70% of the Philippine population wasn't even enough to buy an upper box ticket to the Thrilla in Manila. For $133, you would get the second worst seats in the house, around $663 today, or 33,000 pesos. To put things in perspective, 33,000 pesos a year would put you in the lowest socioeconomic bracket, and only 17% of Filipinos fall under that today. Despite that, Ali stood to make $4 million, with $2.8 million coming from Filipino taxpayers. The Philippines was also responsible for all the equipment, including a mobile unit, 4 color television cameras, a slow motion machine, 2 VTR machines, basically a lot of stuff. We paid for everything. And the worst part, the profits didn't go back to the country. According to the contract, the first $5.5 million goes to the Don King Group, and the next $5.5 million also goes to the Don King Group. But at least with the second half of the $5 million, the Philippine government gets a consolation prize of 15%. So why do this? Well, for Don King, it was it had to be a lopsided trade to lure them away from the bright lights of Madison Square Garden and into the cheaper, hotter lights of the Philippine Coliseum. And for Marcos, he wanted to show that the Filipino economy was doing well. Marcos wanted to show the world that his government was stable. And what better way to do that than to host one of the most hyped fights in professional sports? Muhammad Ali was so popular with Filipinos that Marcos even joked that if he was a Filipino, I'd have to kill him. He was so desperate to prove to the world that the Philippines was great. So desperate that he covered up signs of poverty along the roads. If this sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood movie, it kinda is. You should check out the movie The Interview and you'll see something very similar.
Liar! You liar!
And this wasn't the first time Marcos did something like this. Just the year before, the Philippines hosted the 23rd Miss Universe pageant, and his wife Imelda even had a theater built just for the event. But the Thrilla in Manila was different. See, Marcos wanted Filipinos to watch it, and he wanted them to watch it badly. The Philippine Games and Amusement Board decided not to show the fight live on Philippine television, but Marcos reversed that decision and even asked companies to allow a timeout in order for Filipinos to catch the fight. And at a time when Filipinos were being tortured, killed, and abducted, why not distract the public with two men beating the out of each other? And they did just that. By the end of the fight, Frazer had taken so many shots to the head that he couldn't see. And Ali described the fight as being like death, the closest thing to death that I know of. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better metaphor for the thousands of Filipinos who were brutally beaten by an authoritarian regime. The Independent called the fight a form of divertisement, a sports event that would attract worldwide interest while distracting the Filipino people's attention from insurgent political activity and a sagging economy. So the next time someone writes a song with Thrilla in Manila in the lyrics, I hope it's more than a catchy rhyme to reference an iconic fight. I hope they'll mean Thrilla in Manila as a reference to the things in our world that are made to distract us from the real problems.